Warhammer 40k custom rules is the keyword. Are you bored of playing 10th edition match play? Fed up of building lists specifically for the missions? Do all your games of 10th edition feel the same? Well, today we're going to sort that out with some custom Warhammer 40k rules. And it's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, today I'm excited because I'm going to be talking about my own custom Overlord Warhammer 40k rules. This is going to be fun, and hopefully it's going to inspire you to do some custom missions either of your own or potentially play my rules. Now, I'm not going to go too much into why I've done these custom rules. I've made 2 videos previously for them and they'll be linked up in the description below for you to check out. I do really enjoy Warhammer 40k 10th edition. I have a lot of fun with it. However, sometimes I do find it a little bit, well, let's say boring. Not only in the game and how the sort of missions are played, but also in the list building side where I find it quite limiting. I want to build a sort of fluffy list, but I'm restricted because I have to have like small units to do particular secondaries, etc. So I think you all know where I'm coming from here. I've heard a lot of people talk about some of the issues with Matched Play 10th edition. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about it too much here. The key thing that we're going to be talking about is what's in this envelope, because yes, I'm old school, I've printed them out. So let's have a look. Like I said, these are custom missions. I've called them the Overlord rules because of course I'm a Necron based channel, it's just a name. You can make your own rules up, call them any rules you like, or if you wanted to have a go at these, you can. I've linked them up in the description below. There's a PDF. They're all formatted to 6x4 inches. So you could go into a local printing kiosk, plug your phone in, and you can print these out for yourself if you wish. So I've got quite a few different things here going on. So we've got some primary and secondary missions. We've got some twists if you want to really add some fun and flavour to your games. And I've got some special rules as well, which I've done just to, well, give you an idea of the sort of things that you could do. So we're going to start off with the easy one, and that's the deployment map. Now, regarding the map of the games, although I have done a rule for it, ultimately just do what you want. I mean, I think one of the good ways to do it is to set the terrain up in a nice thematic way. And then choose a map which suits that terrain the best. The other way to do it, of course, is just to use the prior Nexus cards and just randomly pick a deployment map. I mean, that works quite well. Or you can use my Overlord rules, where I've called them the Necron tier nose. You roll a d3 and then you either choose Dawn of War, Hammer and Anvil, or Table Quarters, just the 3 traditional easy to set up deployment maps. So how you get your deployment map is irrelevant. You can even just make up your own ones, but I thought I'd do a rule just so that all of the rules are there for everyone. Okay, so next we've got 3 primary missions again, so you can either have them printed out and just sort of randomly select one, or you could just roll a d3 for them and then work out which one you're going to play, or you could just choose one. So the first one is called Blackstone Forge. It's 5 objectives and each one is worth 5 points each. And I'm assuming on all of these you're going to have 1 objective in each deployment zone and 3 in the middle. And of course, just like the standard match play rules, because it makes sense, you're going to score these from turn 2 onwards. Each objective is worth 5 points, so a pretty standard mission, and that's the whole idea of these rules, is to have standard, easy to play, fun games where you don't have to worry too much about point scoring or through the turns. It's going to be just quite simple and easy to play, so you can just put your models down and play a game and have fun. That's the idea behind it all. Now, primary mission 2 is a Dynasty Charge. 3 objectives, again worth 5 points each, but they're all in no man's land, so no home objectives, again scored from turn 2 onwards. Now I like this one because I think this doesn't necessarily benefit Necrons quite so much, depending on your list of course, but it makes a nice change from the standard deployment where you have 5 objectives. Then we have the primary mission number 3, which is the Soulless Stand. 5 objectives, 1 in each deployment zone, 3 in no man's land, and then the home objective is worth 1 point. The no man's land's objectives are worth 3 points each, and the enemy objective is worth 5 points each, again scoring them from turn 2 onwards. 3 very simple primary missions, easy to play, easy to set up, and you can literally just pick one of those and play a game and off you go. However, because obviously secondary missions do bring a little flavour and fun to the game, I have done some secondary missions as well. So secondary mission number 1 is Take Their Souls. Effectively this is kill points. I talked quite a bit about this in one of my previous videos, and this is how I decided to do it, and I'd have to thank Richard from CM Wargames for this idea, because he came up with the idea and I think it works really well. So what we're going to do is divide the points cost of each unit that you kill by 10. So if you had a 120 point unit and you killed it, you would divide it by 10, that would give you 12 kill points. If the unit was 85 points, then you would get 8.5 kill points. The idea is here basically you get to the value of the units that you kill rather than a kill points for each unit that you kill. Hopefully that will even things up where you have varying armies like orcs, for example, that might have lots of small, easy to kill units, and Necrons, which might have bigger, more difficult to kill units. Well, rather than getting a kill point for each unit you kill, you get the points value, but it's divided by 10 to help the points scoring match up with the primary missions, because we didn't want the secondary missions to be huge scoring points compared to the primary. So that's the idea behind that one, Take Their Soul. The next secondary mission, and you would play all 3 of these secondary missions in one game because it will just make it fun, and the next one is Wipe the Warlord. If you kill your enemy's Warlord, you score 3 points. You can score this twice if an army has a resurrection ability on their Warlord, and it doesn't matter how they die. You can kill them in close combat, you can kill them from a mortal wound that you've thrown out, or just shoot them, etc. It doesn't matter how you kill them. 3 points scored if you kill them, plus of course you also get your kill points value. So if it was 100 points, you'd get 10 points for killing it, plus the 3 points for killing the Warlord, 13 points. Now moving on to the secondary mission 3, it is also related to the Warlord. This is called Ultimate Warlord. You score 5 points if your Warlord kills your enemy Warlord. So you can score this twice again if it's resurrected, and again it doesn't matter how they die. So if your Warlord kills your enemy Warlord, you get 5 points. For Ultimate Warlord, you get 3 points for killing a Warlord from the other secondary, and you get kill points. And this will hopefully bring some nice thematic things happening on the table where you're going to try and get your Warlord into a position to kill your opponent's Warlord, and that can really help make the game feel fun. You've probably noticed that I have used quite a few of 6+ Stevo's rules. He has his own Warboss rules, and I've stolen some of these ideas from him and then just adapted them for myself. So a massive big up to 6+ Stevo. I talked about him in my previous video, but there is a link to Stevo's channel as well, so make sure you check it out. So that's the primary and secondary missions, which I did first, and then I thought it might be fun to add some extra stuff to these rules just to really help make your games, well, fun. If you want to use them, you don't have to use these, but I think it does add an extra flavour. Maybe sometimes you'll use these, and then sometimes you won't, just to mix things up. So I've called these the Overlord twists. And the first one goes back to some of the old rules that we had in, I believe, 4th edition, where we had Night Fight. I've called this Solar Pulse, and it's not actually Night Fight, but it's sort of inspired by those Night Fight rules. So you roll a d6 before the first turn starts, and on a 4+, visibility is reduced. It would mean that your maximum shooting range would be 18 inches, and the maximum assault range is 6 inches. And this would be in the first battle round only. So just to mix things up, and it's just random as well, it's only a 50% chance of getting this roll, but you could put the Overlord twist in there if you wished. Now again, I've got 3 twists, so you could randomly roll a d3 to find out which twist that you're playing. That's the idea of doing everything in 3s. The second one is teleportation. So the defender rolls a d3 before the first turn starts. And then on a 1, you remove the left middle objective. On a 2, you remove the middle objective. And on a 3, you remove the right middle objective. Now, I've worded this. I've rolled a d3, which obviously most people will be rolling a d6. So that's why I put on a 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. You know how a d3 works. But effectively, one random objective in no man's land will be removed with this teleportation twist, which could really change the game up. So I thought that would be a pretty cool twist to have. The third twist is Tomb Turmoil. Roll a d3 before the first turn starts, and it's going to affect the gravity of the planet that you're playing on. On a 1, it's low gravity. Increase the movement factor of all units by 3 inches. Medium gravity, increase the movement by 1 inch. And high gravity, reduce the movement by 2 inches. Now I could have had medium gravity do nothing, so it doesn't affect the game, but I thought it would be pretty cool to affect the game, because this again is a 4th edition type special rule which we had, which is just fun to play. So I thought I would put it in there as a twist if you wanted to use it. Now, as I was doing the twists, I sort of came up with even more ideas. I wanted to try to keep this as basic as possible, and the next idea is called special rules. And well, I went a bit crazy with this. You can use this, you can't use this. You may or you may not want to use these. I originally started with just 1 special rule, and then I went a bit crazy and I did 3, because then I went for the rule of 3s. However, you can come up with your own ones. Maybe these will just inspire you with things that you don't like about the game that you would like to change, because that's what these are all about. Now the first one is called Overlord's Roll. Now this will replace the command reroll stratagem. It's 1 CP, but you can only use it once per battle. But you can re-roll any 1 dice except for the first turn. Now the thing with 10th edition that I find is there are so many re-rolls. I mean, just the armies themselves have so many re-rolls. But then when you couple that with the command re-roll, where something epic happens on the game and then your opponent just says, oh, I'll just re-roll that, it takes the fun from the game. Also, I do get confused about what dice exactly I can re-roll, because it's, you know, there's only certain things that you can actually re-roll. So I thought this would be pretty cool to have for the games. You can only use it once per battle, so you're going to have to be very strategic about when you use it. It still costs you a CP as well, but on the flip side, apart from the first turn roll-off, you can use it for any dice roll you wish. And it's only 1 single dice roll, so if you use it on a charge, for example, and you roll a 4 and a 2, you can only roll the 2. Well, you can roll the 4 if you want to, but you can only pick up 1 of those dice and roll it. You can't roll the whole thing. So just 1 dice, you can roll any dice you like. It costs you a CP, but it's only once per battle. And I think that will add some fun to the games. that's the rule which I like and I will probably try to use in all of my games. However, like I said, I went a bit crazy and I came up with some other rules as well. So the next one is Overlord's Bomb. Now this replaces the grenade stratagem, which I'll be honest, I don't like, because you can only use this if you have a grenade, and not every unit has a grenade, or not every army has grenades in their army. And this is a core stratagem from the main rulebook that every army can use. But if you don't have grenades, you can't use it. So that's why I've got this special rule. So yeah, it replaces the grenade stratagem. It's 1 CP. It uses all of the rules from the stratagem, except you can target any unit. You don't have to have a grenade unit. It can target any unit except monsters and vehicles. So that's my little twist, because I just hate the grenade stratagem because I can't use it and it doesn't seem right. I don't necessarily have to play this particular special rule in my games. Like I said, I've just added it maybe almost to give you some ideas. If there's particular things about the game that you don't like, just make up your own special rule. Now the last special rule I've got here is Overlord's Will, and this is designed to replace the insane bravery stratagem, because there's something again I don't like about it. The fact that you can only use it once per battle, it costs you a CP, and you have to take it before you've taken the test. I just don't like that. I think it's better than it used to be, where you could use it all the time. So I like the idea that it is once per battle only, and that it is 1 CP, but I'm going to say that you can use it after you failed a test. You roll, you fail, you use a CP, and you've now passed, and that's it. You can just do that once per game. Like I said, those special rules you don't have to use. I'm not even sure I'm going to use them, except for maybe the command reroll stratagem. The twists, again, you don't have to use. Maybe now and again you might fancy doing a twist. The key thing here, of course, is the primary and secondary missions. I think they will really make the games fun, and also make your list building fun, which is very important. Now you can list build without having to worry about, can I do sabotage? Can I do behind enemy lines? Can I do deploy locusts with this particular army? And it takes away building what you want to build, you know. So hopefully this will be a lot of fun for you guys to try out. I really hope you do try it out. As I said, there's a link to these rules in the description below. Go and check them out, give them a go, and let me know what you think. In the meantime, if you do want to see my other videos I've made about these 10th edition rules issues, then here they are for you to check out. And when it's ready, when I've played a game with these rules, here will be a battle report using these rules.